As part of me learning to garden and eventually into homesteading, I decided I should make a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet, it basically just lists out everything that I'll be planting for the 2026 grow season. And today I wanted to walk you through it so I can show you what I'll be planting this year. I made this spreadsheet to type out all of the crops that I'll be planting and the varieties and where I get them from. So over here, as you can see, column A is the crop type, and B will be the variety, C is the vendor, and D would be the plants that I need. E would be the amount of plants that I actually plant out, and then F is my yield, my output of each crop, and then G is if I'll plant it again, and H are notes. So just to run through really quick what I'll be planting this year, I'm doing 2 different broccoli. I'll be doing the Waltham and the Imperial. I want to try the Imperial, even though it's a hybrid. I wanted to try it because, from my understanding, it's very tolerant to heat. So I just want to see how that'll work out. I got 6 of each of those. The cabbage is called All Seasons. I actually wasn't going to do any cabbage until the fall until I come across this variety, and it's supposedly heat tolerant too, so I wanted to try this one out. This come from the seed plant. I'll have 5 of those planted out, hopefully. Next is my kale. I'll be doing the dwarf blue curled and the dinosaur kale, and both of these are from Seeds of Change. Next are my onions. I'll be doing red Creole from the seed plant, Texas Ground 502 from the seed plant, and Lisbon bunch onions from American Seed. And as you can see over here, I'm looking for 20 of the red Creole, 28 of the Texas Ground 5 of the bunching onions. The red Creole and the Texas Ground are short day onions. Most short day onions don't store very well, but in my area, short day and intermediate day are the ones that we grow here. And these two, they say store better than the very sweet varieties of short day onions. So that's why I went with those 2. Next up are my flowers. This chamomile, it is in red because I didn't get any. So hopefully I'll come across some somewhere and just be able to grab a pack to go ahead and plant out. Next are calendula. It's called Alpha. It's from Free Heirloom Seeds. Next is the Sparky. It's a marigold from Free Heirloom Seeds. White Yarrow. That's from Free Heirloom Seeds also. I'll be doing some borage. That's from Back to Roots. I plan on doing sunflowers. The Mammoth Russian. It's from American Seed. I didn't have much luck. As soon as I took the sunflowers outside, because I started them indoors, and when I took them outside, I think the birds got to them or something, because the heads were gone or laying on the ground. Next up is the Petite Yellow Marigold, and I'll be using those mostly in the grow bags. Next are my herbs. Last year I didn't have too much luck with any of the herbs. I did have good luck with the basil and the sage, but that was about it. But this year again, I'll be trying the oregano. It's from American Seed. Well, actually, all of these herbs are going to be from American Seed. I'll be doing oregano, 2 of those, parsley, 10 of those, chives, 4 of those, cilantro, 6 of those, thyme, 2 of those, dill will be 4, sage will be 3. And I believe it's the sage and the chives and the oregano is what I'll be growing in pots. Did I say basil? I can't remember, but basil. And basil, I plant those um, in between my tomatoes. From my understanding, it helps repel some of the pests that tomatoes deal with. So I don't have a number on those because I'll just start quite a few of the basil and interplant those with the tomatoes. Next up are my greens. I'll be doing a red cells lettuce from Botanical Interest. I'm looking at about 20 of those. That's a leaf lettuce. That's why I have so many of those. Um, I also heard that they're heat tolerant, so I wanted to try those out this year. I got a Paris Island lettuce from, it's a romaine lettuce from Seeds of Change. 10 of those. Salad bowl lettuce, that's also a leaf lettuce. It's from Botanical Interest, and I am looking at 12 of those. Black seeded Simpson, I'm looking at 12 of those from the seed plant. Butter Crunch, that's like a heading lettuce. I believe you can harvest it as a leaf lettuce, but I'm gonna go for the head on the Butter Crunch. Butter Crunch from the seed plant, looking at 10 of those. And then we go into the spinach. I got Giant Noble from American Seed, looking at about 30 of those. And on the spinach, I really want to grow a lot of spinach because I want to freeze them and use them mainly for my smoothies. I also have a Bloomsdale Long from Seeds of Change, and I'm looking at 30 of those. The next one are my root crops. I have carrots on here. I got these from Berlin Seed. They are Danvers. If I can find the pictures, I'll put in the carrots that I got from my first year, which were teeny tiny. And then the carrots that I got from my second year, they were huge. The only difference in them was one was the first year was in the buckets, and the second year was in a raised garden bed. I have my potatoes here listed, and they're red because I don't have them yet. I got the potatoes and the sweet potatoes. I plan on getting them from Berlin Seeds. When I contacted them about ordering some, they said that they don't usually have them for sale until March. I'll play it by ear for those because I wanted to get those out in March. So I don't know about getting them from Berlin Seed. And the sweet potatoes, I most definitely will probably go ahead and get them from them if I don't start my own. I haven't decided yet. The 7-top turnip, I decided not to do those until the fall. And the radish, I decided not to do those until the fall also. Next are our legumes. I got the contender bush bean from Berlin Seed. Black turtle, it's a black bean from Berlin Seed. And the contender is, I'm going to use those as a green bean. All of these beans are bush beans. I wanted to do the bush beans because I'm limited on space. And I also wanted them to mostly be done all at the same time. So the black turtle is also bush bean. I'll be looking at 40 of those. The red kidney is just a red bean from Berlin Seed, 36 of those. The navy is the white beans from Berlin Seed, 36 of those. And the pinto bean is from Berlin Seeds, and 36 of those. Next are my grains. I wanted to try corn. Don't know how that's going to work out for me, but it's worth a try. I got it from Baker Creek, and I'm looking at 12 to 16 of those. Next are the melons. I'm just going to do a sugar baby on the watermelon from American Seed. I'm looking at 3 of those. And I haven't decided on this tender sweet orange watermelon yet. That's why I don't have anything over here. But if I do plant it, it'll be from the seed plant. I just got to find some room for it first. The next melon is my cantaloupe, Hell's Jumbo from Ferry Morris. I'm looking at 3 of those. And the honeydew I decided to skip this time around. Next are my cucumbers. I'm going to do Market More and Muncher for my slicing cucumbers. And those are from American Seed. And I'm looking at about 2 of each of those. And the next cucumber is the homemade pickles. And that's what I'll be using to make pickles. Those are from Berlin Seed. And I'm looking at 4 of those. Squash was no joke this last season. So I'm only going to do a couple of those, see how they work out. Maybe I can get a couple here and there, but I may wait until later in the season when the squash bug and the vine borer are not so prevalent. So my first squash, I'm looking at a dark green zucchini, and that's from American Seed, 1 of those, and early crookneck. It's a yellow squash from Livingston, 1 of those, and then an early straight neck, which is also a yellow squash, summer squash from American Seed. Looking at 1 of those. I allotted 2 spaces in the garden this year for butternut squash, the Waltham butternut squash, and that is from American Seed. Pumpkin. I really wanted to try pumpkin for my kids, mostly for Halloween, but I gotta find a couple spots to put them. So hopefully I'll be able to do that for them. Next are my peppers. I cut back on the peppers a lot this year. I just want to make sure I have the room in the garden for the types of crops that will mostly be eaten. So I did cut back on the peppers a lot this year. My first pepper is a sweet banana from Ferry Morris. I'll have 3 of those. California Wonder is a bell pepper from American Seed, 3 of those. Early jalapeno from Ferry Morris and Free Heirloom Seeds, about 2 of those. The Serrano chili from American Seed, 2 of those. The long thin cayenne is American Seed. I'll have 2 of those. The shishito is a sweet pepper from Free Heirloom Seeds, 2 of those. This pepper, this red cherry sweet, I had never heard of. I just thought it sounded good, so I figured I'd try it. That's from Free Heirloom Seeds, 2 of those. And then we get into the tomatillo, and I had some seed left over from last year. I actually wasn't going to do the tomatillo this season, but I'm going to go ahead and try it out. I found a spot that I could put 2 because the tomatillos, you got to have 2 different plants in order for them to pollinate each other. So I got the Toma Verde variety of this tomatillo, and it's from Free Heirloom Seeds. Now into the tomatoes. I cut back a lot on the cherry tomatoes because my goal this year is to learn how to can, and I want to can tomato products. So my first cherry tomato was the Matt's Wild Cherry from Free Heirloom Seeds. I have 2 spots for it. And the other cherry is the Chadwick cherry. And I did that last year, and it did the best out of all the cherry tomatoes that I planted. So I wanted to do those again this year. And that's from Free Heirloom Seeds also. I'll have 2 of those out in the garden. Next are the paste tomatoes. We got the San Marzano, which is a semi-determinate tomato. It's from Free Heirloom Seeds. I have 5 spots for it. And the Amish paste tomato was from Free Heirloom Seeds also, and I'll have 5 spots for those. The Amish paste did very good last year for me. We mostly just sliced them and ate them because I wasn't into canning just yet. These first 2 years has kind of been like a trial for me, and now I want to go ahead and get into things that we actually eat and things that we can actually use. It's not just the tomatoes, but with everything. So beefsteak, I heard that Mortgage Lifter was a very productive plant, so or variety, I should say. So I wanted to try it out. I got some of those from Berlin Seed, and I'll have 3 spots allotted for those. And lastly, the Black Krim tomato is a beefsteak tomato. It's from Ferry Morris, and I allotted 1 or 2 spots for it. Now this tomato, it's got like a smoky flavor to it, and it was actually one of my favorite ones that I grew last year. So I had to get it in there somewhere. Down here is just my radish that I'm gonna wait on those until the fall, but I did want to have those on the list. I added those in from Baker Creek. It's a daikon, a tillage radish that I'll be using in some of my clay soil. But yeah, so this is all on the spreadsheet. I don't know if it'll help anybody out, but I did just want to run you through it and let you see what I plan on planting this year. And I'll definitely keep you updated on videos to come. This right here is my backyard. You can see I just went through and I added in the names of all of the crops and where I will be planting them outside. These circles up here are 5-gallon buckets. These are my tomatoes that will be planted in ground. And all of these squares are my raised beds. I got a 6x4, two 6x4s, and this is about almost a 2x4. These 4 beds are 2x10s. This bed I still have to make it, but I wanted to add it out there so that I could do potatoes in it. This will be a 1x6. This raised bed is about 1x4. These are my grow bags, and I'll be doing my potatoes in the grow bags this year. These will be my sweet potatoes, and these will be my red potatoes. I have 2 large nursery pots that I'll be doing some more white potatoes in. And as you can see, I got where my bush beans will be, and my lettuce will be first. And once I take those out, then I'll be adding in my bush beans. Got my cabbage that'll be here, and then I'll be adding in peppers after the cabbage. Got the spinach and the Paris Island lettuce. Then I'll be adding in the yellow boxes are my peppers. This is one of the bigger peppers, like a bell pepper. And then these small yellow boxes will be the small peppers like the shishito. And then I'll put about 3 or 4 pickles on either side of the pepper. Back here will be my Amish paste, but first I'll fill this in with spinach. Up here, these are cinder blocks, and you know how the cinder blocks have the little holes in each one of these squares. That is where I will be planting out the parsley, cilantro, calendula, and some bunching onions. Back here, I got some strawberries that I got offline, bare root, and I planted those out. So we'll see how they come up in the spring. And then I'll be planting the 2 tomatillos at the other end, other strawberries. Over here, I got these 2 are raised beds, and they are 2x6. And I'll start with the kale, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to plant a trap crop. Then this one will be my lettuce, a salad bowl lettuce and black Simpson lettuce. And then later on, I'll put the black beans and the winter squash over here. These 3 beds are in ground. This will be the first year I'm doing these, and these will be where my other beans go. Yep, and that is pretty much a summary of my backyard. I just wanted to show you my setup so that you could kind of see what it looks like overall, and maybe on the next video I'll be able to take you out there so you can see it firsthand. So I believe that is all for today. I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you being a part of my journey, and I'll see you in the next one. If you're interested in this sort of content or just want to follow along on my gardening journey, please consider subscribing and be sure to turn on those notifications so that you'll be notified whenever I post a new video.